Amelia, and I am a media and communications student, and I am here to do an interview with you. It is very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Could I please get your name?
Brett Randall.
And what is your position in the Crown company?
Owner, co-owner.
Yep.
Manager.
Yep.
And everything else you want to call it.
When did Crown first start?
Started sort of the idea started mid 2020, but we sort of opened the store late November in 2020.
Yeah. Have you done any work in media?
My main background is graphic design.
Yeah.
I sort of started studying around 2010 and studied for a few years and finished in 2013, and then since then I've been working in design and photography and illustration. So basically work for a lot of different agencies and companies within the creative realm.
Yeah. You said you were studying, was that at university?
It's like a private college in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for 3 years.
Was there a name for the...
it was KVB, Institute of Design.
Wow.
So it was based around photography, interior design and fashion design, but my main studies were around graphic design.
Very nice. So how did you get into the field?
That's a hard question, I guess.
Did you have any inspiration?
I actually didn't think I was any good at drawing or designing until I sort of started studying and then sort of got to experience more creative endeavours, I guess. So I never really drew or designed or thought I was creative when I was younger, but I was always sort of interested in it. So I guess like giving it a go sort of opened up a lot of different that one.
The man?
Yeah.
Sick.
And that one up there, the screen print.
Yeah, the yellow.
Wow. And that one up there is actually the white one.
You have some talent. Do you consider Crown to be a collaborative workforce?
I mean, like in terms of like collaborating with other brands on and products and stuff. And obviously the premise of the brand itself is to collaborate with other artists on different things and sort of showcase their work as well in terms of like helping them push their creativity.
Yeah. I had a good look through your Instagram and I noticed you post a lot of other creators' content.
Yeah.
Is that through Crown? Like, is that them developing?
Yeah. So most of them are developing through us, and all of the work besides stuff that we post in the story, which is just like obviously iPhone photos, but I mean.
Yeah.
Most of the work that we want to show is people that develop with us or that support the shop. So
I saw that new mural on the wall outside.
The one outside,
How was that done?
That guy's just a friend of mine. I grew up with him, Jez. He and his partner Bri works here as well. And he's sort of always been heavily into street art and graph and stuff. So he just come in and did it in like 3 hours.
Wow.
I mean, like, I guess with street art, you've got to kind of, most of them are doing it in the street, so they've got to be pretty quick on it.
Fast, yeah. How does collaboration impact your personal work, do you think?
Every sort of design I'm doing is in collaboration with someone else or a brand or a person or a company. So it's kind of like taking inspiration from what they like and what I like and sort of blending it together to get the end result.
How do you think Crown got to where it is now?
I probably think it's mostly to do with both me and Simon's involvement within the art scene and music scene and photography scene in Wollongong. And I feel like we're at that point where we both were successful with what we were doing in our own personal lives and our own other businesses and brands that we were a part of. So it's kind of like made sense to put them both together. To showcase what we're into and provide a place that people can also get into stuff that we're into.
Could you go through the process of when someone comes in with a question?
For the shop? Is there any specific question or just any question in general?
Let's say someone comes in and says, I really want to do some photography on the beach. I'm looking to film. I'm thinking black and white. It's been a bit trial and error. I've noticed my photos are quite flat and I can't get, for example, the waves to look just as fluffy and bubbly and foamy as they do in person.
I'd probably say, like, depending on the time of day and the speed of the film and the type of camera they've got, there's like a lot of variables in terms of trying to achieve a certain look or a certain feel in the photo. But obviously, like, it would be best to, you know, find out some of the finer details and understand what they're trying to capture, and just point them in the right direction in terms of like what sort of speed film they're after, run them through different like black and white film stocks and stuff, and just sort of like basically give them a sort of more broader understanding of what the film does and what's best for their results. Really.
Yeah. So I'm going to say a couple words and I'd like you to tell me what comes to mind when I say them. Fact-based dream, let's say it has to do with Crown. If you could see a future, like think about the best possible scenario. You may not think it's possible, but it could happen. What do you see happening with Crown?
I guess, like, obviously see that it's definitely growing at a rate that we weren't actually we're sure was going to actually happen, like in the short amount of time that we've been around. So I feel like it's definitely going to grow in size. We've got a few things like in the works with Crown and with other businesses that we've got. We're also looking at getting like our own film lab to develop photos here as well.
Oh, do you guys develop externally?
Yeah, so we've got a private lab we partnered with in Sydney, but we're actually getting like a proper lab in Wollongong.
Nice.
Hopefully within the next 6 months.
That would boost things.
Yeah, so...
Has Crown done any other projects around Wollongong?
Yeah, I mean, like, we've been involved with like other events and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the festival that we put on with Darcy's West End Fest. That's,
I've heard of that.
So that was a festival between me and one of my friends, Luca, that works at Yours Nows.
It sounds very collaborative, those projects. Have there ever been any issues?
I mean, there are always issues with things leading up to the event, but most of the time, by the actual game day, it's definitely like smoothened out by then. And you know, everyone's sort of working together to make sure nothing goes wrong as well. So,
what's your opinion on disposable film cameras?
I mean, I've used them in the past, and I know a lot of people use them here. But I think like it's probably like a lot of people that use them, they're, you know, easy to just pick one up, like you can start taking photos straight away. Like it's probably a lot less daunting as like an actual proper point and shoot or a manual SLR. But you know, there's like steps up from that, but I guess like some people that just aren't ready to commit to a proper point and shoot like would more often than not want to buy a disposable. But it is a bit of a tough one with like the plastic. Like you could probably have a look out there. You can see like those boxes full of there's 2 boxes full. Some like we're trying to keep them so we don't. So we like eventually we'll try and figure out a way to recycle them. But
so you're looking for a way to recycle?
Yeah.
Are there options at the moment?
I mean, like we sort of looked into. We've got a friend that we work with. That he does like 3D printing and stuff, and we're sort of looking at how we could find a company that could recycle the disposables and try and actually like turn them into like a reusable camera.
That was actually going to be my next question. I was wondering if you guys would ever be open to coming up with different ideas for an alternative.
That was one that we did speak about that along like when we first started. But I think it's just in terms of like recycling the disposables. I think it's like 3D printing in general is like uses a specific material, so it's kind of like not the same as if you try to recycle those and then turn them into that material to actually 3D print something. But yeah, like we're trying to figure out a different way to put good use to them.
Yeah. How would you talk to a customer when they come in saying, look, like I've always used disposable film cameras, I want to move on, but the whole process just seems so daunting?
I think like the main angle for that, and I tell a lot of people all the time when they come in, they'll come in and buy like 3 disposables, and that would equal like one of the more cheaper cameras that we've got. So it's kind of like, would you rather buy 3 disposables and you know, chuck away all that plastic as opposed to just being able to afford a camera and a roll of film and like me just explaining it how it works, like the basics and stuff, and usually get them to check out like a YouTube video or something, or there's a manual inside the camera box as well, so it's pretty simple, and like most of them, like I'll put the film in for them and then, you know, put the batteries in, show them how it works. Yeah. And then once it's done, I'll just get them to bring it back and I'll show them how to take it out. So it's kind of like helping them through the whole process.
Good idea.
Once the film's in there and the flash is on and stuff, it's not really that much different to a disposable. Yeah. Cool. But
thank you so much for letting me do this.
I know no problem.
It's a bit out of the box, but...
No, it's all good. I mean, it's nice to talk to someone that's interested in something that I do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.